I want to know real quick how Thrasho De Mayo kind of got started, in your opinion,
Okay. So
when you were there.
I know that the first Thrasho 2005 at the Whiskey was it wasn't even supposed to be called Thrasho De Mayo. I know John from Warbringer, the guitar player, he came up with the name.
John Locks or Adam?
Yeah, John Locks. Yeah.
Okay.
So he came up with the name randomly, I think. It was just kind of like Thrasho De Mayo. I put it on a flyer, released it. So I think it was more of like that show happened and it was an epic show. It was us, Warbringer, Hexen, Merciless Death. For who else was on there? They were probably good too, but it was one of those staple kind of shows where it's like, fuck yeah, this is the LA / Ventura, I guess, fucking connection here. This is what it is. And that's why I think we wanted to do it again. It's like, this is us collectively doing this for everyone. And so we're like, let's do it again next year. Like, I don't think it was anything like thought out too hard. It was just kind of like, that was very successful. Let's do it again.
When did you get into the realm of having like an old school kind of, because you guys brought back like the old school bands.
Yeah.
So you guys brought back like, God damn it, who's the band from Germany that you guys had? Exhumer.
Yeah.
And Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
That was the first time I saw him.
That
was the first time I met Roger. Remember
Roger
Morales? So
Roger.
I thought he wanted to beat me up, and he was at the...
Yeah, cool guy.
But when did you get the thought in your head, it's like, hey, we can probably expand this and kind of get bigger bands that we grew up loving, and hopefully they'd be interested in, like, they'd be good for their career too. I know you guys didn't think of it like that. I think
the introduction, because the first one was at the Whiskey A Go Go. The second one was at the Knitting Factory, and that's when Dan Dismal comes into the picture. He's the one that had the bigger idea, I guess. I mean, as far as being able to bring a bigger band, because I think we brought Strike Master from Brazil, which they're our age, they're our generation. But
like a Violator
kind
of thing.
Yeah, just the fact that we brought someone from out of state, out of the country to begin with, that was a big deal. So it started with that. I think the backing of Dan Dismal is really what helped everything out. And then the following year, because, I mean, that was a successful show. So we're like, let's bring a big band. And so I know Exhumer, they hadn't been to the States in forever, and somebody had asked them to play a show. Like, it was like out there on the internet, like, oh, we're going to play it. But it was like not a real deal type of thing. And so when we heard about that, I'm like, hey, they're willing to come to the U.S. It's, and our manager at the time was like, yeah, let's make it happen.
Who was your manager?
Carlos's mom, Esther.
Okay.
So
can you ever get into logistics when it comes to like how much you paid these guys to fucking come over? So did you pay for the flight and the...
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Unless it's like an organized tour, I believe. I'm not a promoter or nothing. I really didn't have to deal with so much of it. I just kind of knew little bits of it where it's like, I know that if a promoter wants to bring a band, and then if they want to play another city, maybe two promoters can, split the cost, that kind of a thing. I don't know. You find ways. These guys are they're just geniuses in that way, where they're just like, we'll find a way. Like Dan Dismal is just like, we'll find a way, So I know that since Thrasho 1, Thrasho 2 were successful, we're like, well, 3 is going to be successful. So we didn't really have to worry too much about,
No, dude, it was a huge deal. If it still broke a lot of bands, that specific festival, dude. It broke us.